Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Thursday, January 17th, 2013. There's a lot going on. Let's jump right into the charts. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You'll see the futures are catching a bid today. They are trading higher by $4.50. This really just happened just a little while ago with a big spike. Futures were up only about 2 points. Now up nearly 4.5 points. So decent little pop here in the futures before the opening bell. We'll see how this market plays out and trades out. Again, one thing I want to point out, that this week has been extremely light on the volume side. So S&P spiders by the end of the day, we're barely getting to 100 million shares on the session. It's just an extremely light run rate, and that does help the markets a little bit. So we'll see how this market finishes today. But again, really just slow motion action after the first couple of hours as you get into this lighter and lighter volume. But markets are higher today to start the session. The dollar is down, obviously. Dollar is getting hit down about 21 cents at the moment. You can see how the dollar overnight was trading around 79.95. Now trading at 79.65. Pretty good decline. And that's really all it takes to lift the markets these days. A little down move in the dollar, markets will go higher. Now, generally, when the dollar is lower, gold will get a bid and oil will get a bid. Well, today gold is flat on the session, trading around $16.82 per ounce. So no real change there. If you take a look at the GLD this morning, you'll see that that is trading around $162.84. That's up about 15 or 20 cents from yesterday's close. So you can't make too much out of that. Looking at oil this morning, light sweet crude is trading higher by 42 cents. To $94.66. So that is getting a little bit of a pop. Decent little push for oil before the opening bell. And then you see here the USO trading up around the 34.50 level. So if the dollar does go lower, obviously we could expect higher oil prices. A lot of resistance still around $34, but oil each and every day with the week, whenever the dollar gets weaker, creeps a little bit higher, and that ultimately will come into play at some point. But right now oil is holding up pretty well. USO is trading at 34.47. That's up about 20 cents from yesterday's close. So we'll see how this plays out. But again, keep an eye on the dollar chart. Very important chart going forward. A couple of stocks in the news today. First, you have eBay coming up. eBay reported earnings yesterday after the close. The stock is being decently received. Not a great move, not a terrible move. Looking at the pattern that it's coming off of, that's not a bad chart. So the stock probably has a little bit more upside as long as the markets hold up. The gap up isn't the greatest, but it's not a weak gap at all. It's actually coming off of a bullish base. So we have to give eBay a little bit of the upside bias here. I would not get in front of this on the short side. Let it play out. It can get as high as 56.25 to 56.50 today. So keep that on the radar. That is where the stock will hit some short-term resistance levels. But until then, eBay is fine at the moment. A lot of bank stock earnings today. BAC, I guess they missed their earnings, but they have Countrywide in there, and they're writing things down, and big write-offs coming in. So BAC is getting hit a little bit. The stock closed at 11.78 yesterday. It's trading at 11.60. I can't make too much out of it. It did trade as low as 11.50. There's no interest in the world to get in front of Bank of America. Let it fall if it falls. It should have further downside, but these bank stocks have had an underlying bid in there, and anytime the central bank is printing or at least buying $90 billion worth of treasuries every month between mortgage-backed securities and $45 billion in U.S. treasuries, it's a lot of money going into the system. So the bank stocks have benefited from that. But ultimately, I have no interest in Bank of America till it at least gets down to the 10.50, 10.25 level. But I wouldn't do much with it here. We've got to watch the pattern as it develops intraday. There really is no play there. Let's take a look at its cousin, Citigroup. Kind of in the same group, but not exactly. Citigroup has had a nice little sell-off here, so good little fall for Citigroup. There probably are some bounce levels here as I'm looking at this more and more. So just bear with me one moment, and we'll get a couple of bounce levels. But again, Citigroup is a strong gap down, even though it's not down all that much. The stock does have a little bit of support around the 41 level. Then you're going to look at 39.75, 38.67, 37.58. But really, the best support level will be around $36.80 if it gets down there. So keep that on your radar if it does really start to sell off, if this market sold off. But right now, the overall markets are holding up fine. It looks like weekly initial jobless claims are out. Claims are coming in at 335,000. Futures are getting a little bit more of a bid off of that news. So just weekly jobless claim number is out. Futures are getting a little bit more of a pop. They're now up about 6 points on the session. Let's take a look at a couple of other stocks out here. One is CBS. CBS Corp. Nice little pop there. This is a strong gap up as well. This stock has upsides probably around $42, I would say. That's where it should stall out. It is still not a really good short play, but again, don't chase this up here. This has already made its move this morning. Herbalife. This is another one highly in the news lately. Talked about a battle between a couple of hedge fund managers. In any case, stock is pulling back. It just got overextended to the upside, so I don't think there's really anything wrong with Herbalife here. Just a lot of resistance at 46.60, and we'll see if where it trades out. But I don't see any kind of a play on this thing right now. I think traders could probably look for intraday bounces. I'm gonna say 41.50. There's an area you could get interested in for a bounce. Also watch 38.47 if it got down there. I don't even think it will get there, but those are two levels you can watch for intraday if it does. Another one I'm seeing here this morning is K-Swiss, KWSW, KSWS, excuse me, KSWS. So this is a shoemaker, and they make watches and things like that. Pretty big pop. The stock closed yesterday at $3.19. It's trading at $4.72. Do not chase this. This is overdone. It's way overbought. It's a strong gap, but believe it or not, it's run its course. This stock should not have much more left in it. It may not be the greatest fade candidate, as it is normally a very, very light volume name, but do not chase this up here. So those of you that are new to trading, you never want to chase, especially a stock that is up this much, and do not chase it up here. It could be a fade at some level. It's just hard to pinpoint. I don't have a great level for the fade, but I'm thinking even where it is, it may stall out or pull back. I do not see more upside from this point on. Okay, so do not chase it. Sometimes the best move is no move, and if I can keep somebody out of trouble, I think I've done my job. But ultimately, I don't have a great trade set up on this one, but I'm just warning you, do not chase this up here. This thing is way overdone. I know it's a cheap stock, $4, but you don't want to jump after that. Okay, so please remember that going forward. That's pretty much all I have earnings wise. There's a lot of other ones. I think another one was BlackRock, but this is not trading much volume this morning to make anything out of it. So I would really need to see more volume to make more of an issue out of it. But it is a good, decent gap up. It looks like it's up about $8 or so from yesterday's close. But there's not much I could do with BlackRock at the moment because there's no volume in the pre-market. So that could change rather quickly. So we'll leave that one alone. You do have economic news coming out. I believe today you have, we just had the weekly jobless claims, and then I think you have the Philadelphia Fed survey out at 10 o'clock in the morning. There may also be some other economic data out, but at least look for that 10 o'clock data, which should be out a little bit later. I'm not sure that's going to be a market mover or anything of that sort. Just keep an eye on the dollar. If the dollar remains weak, markets should hold up, possibly trade higher. Dollar catches a bid, especially in the early part of the day, then markets are vulnerable. If the dollar catches a bid in the afternoon, the markets can easily hold up. It's just no volume to take the market lower. So that's where we stand at the moment. We'll see how this market shakes out, but this is what we're looking at today. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you all on the charts tomorrow, and we'll do it all over again. Take care now.